Hey, good day. This is Greg Lewis, the city manager here in Lebanon, New Hampshire. Welcome to Lebanon in Depth. Here we are. I almost feel like fall here in September, and I think things just feel that way now. And we thought it'd be a good time to go through the major projects that we have in our public works operations. Because many of you have experienced it. I myself experienced personally, and then the opportunity to learn about all these fabulous projects that have great importance to our city. There's challenging projects. There's some very significant projects in terms of their impact, their size, and the cost that might be involved. And so we're going to kind of go point by point through our major projects and describe them for you and give you a status update on the project in particular. But before we do that, we'll go around our table here and we'll introduce ourselves. Again, I'm Greg Lewis. I'm city manager of Lebanon. We'll start over there on Mike.
Yeah, Mike Lavala, Director of Public Works in Lebanon.
We'll go to Bruce.
Bruce Temple, and I'm the new Assistant Director of Public Works here in Lebanon.
And I told Bruce that we put him on the spot because once you have to come on the show the first time. Everybody has been on the first show, and we'll get to Christina. But we'd like to have you to give a little background for the people out there. We want you to get to know Bruce, and we were really so happy that Bruce is here.
Well, thank you very much. I've been on the job, I guess, for all of 5 weeks, and I can honestly say that everybody in the city and at the department have been more than cordial in welcoming myself aboard. Mike has led me around, and Christina is very helpful in the projects that we're going to talk about today. I live down in the Claremont, city of Claremont, where I was the former director of Public Works down there, and I did that job for about 8 years, and kind of fell into that job after serving on the city council and doing some school board things in Claremont and working for some heavy highway contractors up and down the Connecticut River Valley. So we've been in Claremont for about 25 years, raised our family there, and I'm having a wonderful commute each day into Lebanon to work here.
Very well. Welcome again, Bruce. We're so happy to have you here. Christine, would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay. I'm Christina Hall, City Engineer for Lebanon.
That's great. That's great. And we as we go through the projects, and I'll name them off, we're kind of freewheeling and informal here, so we'll say if there's any other comments we should make about these projects, so everybody can feel free to chip in, because we want to engage the community in conversation. That's why we do the walkabouts. Whenever we do a project, we walk about your neighborhood before it gets off the ground, so you can get in early and talk about the project with us and give your important information, because you know these streets and these physical facility areas more than anyone else. You live there, and so that's why we think it's very important. We do community meetings, and that's very important to us. So this is kind of an extension of that via our television here at CATV. Well, without further ado, then we'll start with the projects. The first project that I will bring up is CSO9, and is my favorite project. And the reason it's my favorite project is because the construction guys are in front of my house. And it's not because I get special treatment, the city manager, to have people in front of your house. No, I'm just on Tinley, and that happens to be one of the streets involved in the CSO9 project. So first, let's talk about the parameters of the CSO9 project. What exactly is the CSO9 project?
The CSO9 project, it's a separation of the stormwater and the sewer that's combined, and we've separated the pipes, and most of it has actually been separated through the course of this year. It's a full roadway construction project as well. It's not just the separation of the stormwater and the sewer. It's there's replacement of water lines, all new storm lines, sewer lines, a full depth reconstruction of pavement, sidewalks, there's curbing. It's a brand new street when it's all said and done. And they're very lengthy. in the process, and we do get the comments of, why are they digging it up 3 or 4 times, when it's just the way construction works when you are trying to do a full depth reconstruction project, because you actually lay your sewer line, your new sewer line first, and then you have to connect all the people onto it, and then you lay the water line in, and you have to connect everybody to it, and then you come back through, and then you put the storm water in, so you're digging the street up that many times. Then you come back in, and you do your full road depth reconstruction, so you're putting all new gravels in the road, and then you come through with the asphalt, and then you come through and you put in the curbing, and then you come through and you put in the sidewalks. So it's very lengthy. Yeah, it's a beautiful project when it's done, and we're hoping that we don't have to come back onto those streets for more than 20 years, if possible.
Fascinating.
So,
it's a fascinating project. Because
you're living it.
I'm living it, and I think when we who are on the CSO projects are living it, we kind of get the experience of exposing versus just driving through a construction zone. You actually see it go forward, come back, as you were describing. It's quite interesting. How, for others in the panel, how challenging are these type of projects? I mean, what your experiences have been in dealing with these separations? Any thoughts on your part, Bruce, about these type of projects?
Yes, having some construction background, they are actually quite a challenge for the contractor. There's some technical things going on, well beyond what we think of as design and drawings and sort of things. But to actually get out there and coordinate and do the process as was just explained, it is highly technical, and hats off to those men and women that work in rebuilding those streets like that. It's very impressive that Lebanon has bitten the bullet and is actually going from brand new sewer and water and storm drainage and curbing and sidewalks. It's a major 30, 40-year venture. And I think it's fair to say that a lot of communities, particularly in New England, would wish that they could get that program within their own communities.
That would be quite a legacy. Mike, from your perspective, and as we begin our project review in the CSO 9,
Yeah,
or CSO generally.
just following up on Christina and Bruce's comments. This project began in 2000, so by the time we get done, have almost 20 years of effort in the whole city to accomplish this. And one of the challenges for us, and I guess more critically for the contractor, is most of these projects are in very densely developed old neighborhoods. It's just on top of the technical issues that Bruce mentioned. You've just got the daily issues of providing access to people, working in fairly tight constraints on some of the streets where the right-of-way may be fairly narrow. It's a real challenge to pace yourself in that job and to be able to accomplish it with the minimum amount of inconvenience to the residents.
I know that in the neighborhood of CSO 9, there's been a lot of compliments expressed to me about the work of the people on the ground that are working and doing this challenging work, about their attitude, about their being polite, about being respectful, and to going out of the way. Several of them gone out of the way to assist people and making sure they had access to their property, to their driveways, and they've kept that rapport going, and it's been going all summer, and it's quite a deal. Mm-hmm. Now the dimensions of 9, we have an upper and lower segments of 9.
Correct. We have 2 sections. The upper section, your section that you live on, is Tenley and Powers, and why can't I think of the name? Wickham. Wickham. And then there's a lower section that's Maple Street, Orcutt, Pleasant, and Farman.
Yes.
So there's a few streets.
I remember when we began, doing the walkabouts
Mm-hmm.
and walking through those two sections, starting from kind of scratch and walking with people. Some people would walk completely with us along along the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would just come out on the end of their lawn when we came to their house, and they talked to us and described how they felt and what some issues they thought. And I thought that was remarkable. And now we're with the status now, and then we'll move on to another project. The status of CSO9, how would we characterize the status?
Well, they're planning to finish this fall, basically everything except the final asphalt. That's what the schedule's projecting. A few things may move into spring if they don't finish all the walls or something to that effect. But they really are working diligently to try to finish at least a binder for the entire project.
That's great.
So.
Now, the next major project we have is the one in the pipe following CSO9, CSO10. And could you describe the general vicinity? It's the same concept.
Same concept.
But we have a different location.
Right. It actually starts. It's just down the street, just a little bit further down. It starts at Bridge Street, at the corner of Bridge Street and Dana, and then it goes up Prospect Street. There's a portion of Highland, and then there's Green Street West. There's Pearl Street and Timothy. There's one more, isn't there? No, I guess that's it. And same concept. And actually, the Bridge Street project that the state is actually doing, we are also having them we're paying for it, but upsizing the stormwater line all the way up through. So because the stormwater from CSO10 actually will be going down, for the most part, down Bridge Street.
Wow.
There's also a section of North Main that's also encompassed in this.
So I noticed there's a connectivity with that downtown West Leb area and North Main area in this particular project. Any comments on this particular project? That anything strikes anyone with regard to challenges or special circumstances that we face?
Well, not challenges, but exciting. I mean, we're actually putting in some permeable pavement on this project, so we're trying to go towards the LID. So that's something new that we're incorporating into the project.
Has it been done before by us?
Not by us, no. We did a section on Mount Support with the concrete sidewalk, and now we're trying it on a dead-end street, so it's low volume, to see how it works.
And what's the status of the CSO9 project? I mean, CSO10, excuse me.
Well, it just went out to bid, and we actually have our pre-bid meeting this Monday at the Kilton at 10 a.m. for the contractors or potential contractors. DES will be there because this is part, we did receive a grant on some of this project. It's SRF funded as well. We have a loan through the SRF program. The bids are due on October 7th, so they'll be open